Ladies and gentlemen, hello. So the question is, what are we doing today, guys? And I'll tell you, we're gonna play some Football Manager 2021 here. As you can see, this was a save that I'm doing on my own, but it's not a save we're gonna be doing now. And the save we're gonna be doing now, let's see. There are many options here. You can play a team in Africa or Asia or Europe, North or South America. These are very choices. But I think I'm gonna go to Europe, and the question is, what am I gonna go in Europe? There are many choices. I don't want to play as any of the big leagues, big five leagues. So for me, either comes down to Holland, as you can see here, or some place like Portugal, somebody like that, which is like good, but not one of the big leagues. And I think I'm going to go with Portugal. Who am I gonna play as Portugal? I think I'm gonna play at either Porto, Benfica, or Sporting Club de Portugal. I think I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna stay with Porto, and I'm also gonna do the international manager feature because I think it's cool. And for what international team are we going to pick? International team. Let's play. I'm gonna go in Europe, not Europe. Is Europe a good idea? I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to. Let me look around here for some other places. You know, I want to pick my team later, see what's going on there. And now I'm gonna go into the advanced setup feature, which will be a little stick here. And obviously now I get to choose what leagues I got to play in. Now for Portugal, I think I'm gonna go with all three leagues in Portugal. Why not? Brazil, the second division is fine. I'm not really going to third. England, I typically like to go England all the way to the end here. And for Spain, Spain for a second division is fine. Now I have to go and add remove leagues because there's certain leagues out of the game I want me to play. Obviously, Germany with the Bundesliga, France League One, Italy, or Spain. We already have Spain. I just have Brazil. And I think I'm also gonna add Holland and I think maybe these are fine. Actually, maybe I'm gonna add Ukraine. The MLS. These set of leagues are fine. So I'm gonna play with Portugal, Brazil, England, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, Italy, Spain, the MLS, and Ukraine. Yeah, obviously these are the ones I'm gonna play with. Choose a starting date for Portugal. Early preseason, that makes sense. Now there will be a little bit of a timelet database, but take a little bit. So let's just start. As you can see here, because the US follows a completely different timeline, they'll only be available to until 8 hours after the game has started. So that's fine. So while the game has started, let's go through what's like the main plan here. Now, as I indicated earlier, Portugal and obviously Netherlands, but since I'm playing against Portugal, that's a league that is not in the considered big five leagues. Now, the three clubs there that was mentioned deciding which one I'm gonna play is are they're big five league, they're big clubs. Those are big clubs. They're constantly in the Champions League, the Europa League, or the ECL, the third league. Now they're all still gonna be in there. So the plan is to, in some cases, be better than teams in big leagues which are ready, but also to recruit those underserved players or the younger prospects, and then to do well with those prospects, and then when the time comes that big teams come a calling, they come, we sell the players, and we just go back around. It's basically a circle, just kind of like that circle, if it makes sense. Because all the time you hear about players from these smaller clubs going to the bigger teams, and it just, that's the name of the game at this point. So just gonna wait for the singer to load. It really shouldn't take that long, but you never know. Sometimes those speeds in this game are one thing that people will mention sometimes, especially as with the amount of teams and the leagues that will be in there as well as players. But hey, for a game this detailed, that's the kind of thing you have to live with. Okay, guys. So this is the current profile I use for my like, main series, and I don't have to play with this profile. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make a new profile for just the purposes of it. We'll just call ourselves Faraday Treat. Faraday Treat. We'll call ourselves Faraday Treat. I don't know. Race and bother me and what nationality? Yeah, well, let's call ourselves. Mm, we'll call ourselves Brazilian and say where from. I don't know. We'll say we're from. Where's that? I don't even know. Hmm. We'll say we're from Sandy. I don't know. And then we'll just say we're from. We'll just say our favorite club is. We'll say our favorite club is Porto. I'm experienced, so I know what's going on. I know what's going on. We'll just leave it there. So, appearance wise, just I really doesn't bother me for the most part. Like, we'll say we're. I'll say we're 6 foot. 176. Let's get a nice color here, shall we? We'll use this color. We're just gonna change it up, make it a little interesting combination here. See what we can do. So the pants. How we run the pants like a red. That's not red. What color? Again, for me, the character customization is not really important. So we'll just go ahead. Managerial style now. This is important. I think for me, managerial style should all be youth development, especially if that's important to you. So I think youth development is gonna be one of the most important. I will just play with Continental Pro and International Global. It doesn't really matter. Now we can confirm. We'll start playing. So again, it's probably gonna be another little spring coming up. Actually, yes. I forgot to change my ear to 20. That was just a little thing. I forgot to change it. But we'll just call that a day. Now you can see here, for example, we are the champions. We were champions of Portugal last season. And so we will enter the Champions Cup, which is the Champions League. We have 50,000 seater stadium, exceptional academy coaching, and very excellent youth development. Was obviously a rivalry with Benfica and Sporting. We won the Champions Cup, which is the Champions League, twice. The Portuguese Premier League a lot. We won the Europa League twice. We won all the European Super Cup. We won all these things, right? So it doesn't matter of trying to keep up with it. Obviously, you have your manager and your assistant manager. Just leave it there. There's no real reason. And so you see, this is our team so far. Some players, Danilo Pereira, isn't go PSG, but we do have some of these players. As you can see, some of these players will have screens, some of these players will not have custom pictures, some of these will not. So it doesn't matter what's going on. You see our versus obligations. We're people we're loan to right already, and then we can send other people out on loan and stuff like that, or bring in other people. No, let's go to next. For example, C, the other thing is that they expect us to develop players using the U system, which is customary for clubs on this level. Some players from domestic rivals, they prefer if we do that. Play attacking football, I like to play attacking football already. High reputation players. High tempo pressing football, sure. Increase commercial revenue, sell for profit, maintain the world status as the most reputable team in Portugal. Okay, this year we're expected to win the Prem, reach the finals of the Portuguese Cup. The Super Cup is not too important. Reach the knockout round, develop the best system. And you can see all this stuff here. This basic stuff that's expected of us is congruent with our current position. And that's this is the director, Francisco Jose Marquez, who was our de facto boss. Now, we can arrange a press conference. We're going to keep that in the squad frame. This is always kind of fun, and I advise report from the backroom staff, sure. And this will be our save game. You can see a bunch of random save games here, but this is our save game here. No. And then you can see this is our news important. This is our press officer Ruben, who we're gonna see all the time, basically. Then you go to the players in the last year contract and what to do with them. Now, obviously, some of these players you can just some of these players will be sold, some players will not be. For example, we're told to offer another contract to Octavio, our 27-year-old starter, and Musa Marenga, our 29-year-old Malian starter. These all stars. You know, some of these other players are people on loan other places. So we're gonna offer him a contract. We'll see what we can do right now. He wants to be an important player in trade for a stepping stone. Okay, see, he wants to be traded club of the stepping stone. Minimum fee release clause must be added. Okay. We'll take out this. And we'll add a fee release clause of a minimum fee release clause of, let's say, what? I can't. Oh, limited 21 million. See, because he doesn't want a case where we just have a really high strapping release clause and no one can sign him. So this makes sense. Okay, we'll agree the terms. He wants a max allowed. He wants this, which I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, because well, see max allowed. Which how about I adjust the budget slightly? No, they're not. I can't do that either. How I move that split from things and just up his fee to 25,000. See, good. So that's him. Next player, Musa Marenga. He wants a pay raise for 31,000 pounds a week. We're using pounds here. And he, oh my god, no. You will get 35 and 250k, like 30, what? 100,000. You want 57? No. You're getting oh my gosh. How much? We'll give you 90. Huh. As you can see here, this happens sometimes where like the board's instructions versus what the players representatives want is not gelling. And this might become to be a problem later on because this player is quite insistent. We're giving him as much as possible. He is not going to, he doesn't want to do it. So we have to exit. We have to exit. Fair enough. We'll come back to him or we'll figure out what to do that. No, we have this player here. He's delay decision. No, we'll delay decision. However, for this player, Fernando Almeida, he's 18-year-old. He's not worth much. He doesn't seem to be worth much. You can see in the scouting level over here. You can see in the scouting level, first of all, he won't time on alone, but also he's only expected to get to a certain point, second league player, which is what we're not. We're not in second league, so he's kind of not going to be it, basically. So in a case like this, it would make sense for me to attempt to offer this amount of the clubs. See if we can get some interest in him. How about, say, £3,000? £3,000, see what's the deal with him. So we'll leave that be. Tactical directional, this is very important. This is where we create our formation, our tactics, and what's not. So I think we're going to do a. We could do. I think. Patient. I think we can do a tiki taka. Positive. This won't be balanced. This won't be like cautious. I think a good positive tiki taka formation is gonna be tiki taka playing itself be good. And a 4-3-3 wide is what my assistant managers recommend we do. Fair enough. We'll go with a 4-2-3 wide. And then selection, like we just drop in the squad. No, this will not be the this will not be official squad half the time. But it can maybe we don't know at this point. We have to go through this stuff and see what's gonna happen before our match in 5 days, which is not cool. But we'll see what happens here, obviously. And then you have the club vision expectation meeting. Basically the same thing as all, so I don't mind it much. Accept it. You're expected to stand by this, obviously. Squad selection rules. These sort of rules are just kind of important. Let me go ahead and how do I do this here now? I'm looking for something you can do with this. I'm trying to think of save this. Save as note. The squad selection will be saved as a note, just so I remember. Now transfer windows open. See. In place, for example, we did sell Fabio Sanchez. Sorry, Salvio Silva. Sorry, not Sanchez. Silva to Wolves before he got here, so obviously he's gone. The 18-year-old for like £36 million, and then other stuff like that. Now you're into actually have a summary. What it wants to do. Okay, this is stuff like who's gonna take the free kicks and what's not. Sure, let's go here. And then for that, it just makes sense to quit bit. Boom, 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 boom. Just quick pick all these things. Because quick picking, you're basically letting the system manager do some of the stuff for you. Which makes sense. Because obviously that's one reason why he's there. So then that's done with. All this stuff is basically what got dealt with already. And let's move on to the next point in time. Which is probably going to be still today. See, it was 15 minutes. It was 15 minutes. Now your social feed as it relates to as far as stuff that will pop up over here. News about the different leagues and also players you may have shortlisted, which we'll get to when it comes to that. And then you have your training schedule for right now. Tomorrow's obviously the first versus second team match, and then the preview, the physical, all that sort of stuff. And training is obviously going to be very important. Players can get injured during training, but players can also get better at the familiarity of the tactic. See, this tactic is not that familiar. They're not sure how to do the passing with it, and the creative freedom and the position role duty. Which might mean that in this match, it might look sloppy, or even in this later match here now, but as they practice to get better at it, that's basically the point of this whole thing, to get better at it as time goes on. So anyway, we're just going to move ahead in time again. Okay, so right now we can see the social feed. Right now we can look at the various leagues and their reports, preseason reports from various other clubs in our league, like Braga, Martimo, Santa Clara, Feliciano, Sporting. For example, Sporting, you can see some of the players that they brought in, and some of the players that they let leave to join other clubs. Makes sense. And then you can also see the transfer news. For example, the second tier of Portugal. This player, Edson Farias. These are some of the rumors that you will see. The Portuguese Championship. Luan. These are just players, and obviously the higher the leagues, you can kind of tell the difference in the money. For example, over here, Bernardo Silva potentially 85 million pounds. Pablo Dybala, Lucas Campbell. Those are players that you will obviously know. Then Ukraine, obviously, Yurchenko. They have the most recent transfers in England, which would be Kai Havertz, Ruben Diaz, and Morata. Same thing in France with Oshmien, Fofana, and David. Germany with Havertz, Werner, and Sané. Italy with Arthur, Oshmien, and Pjanic. And you can also see, for example, here who club spent the most. For example, Inter spent £106 million on transfers, so the question will be able to live up with it. Meanwhile, Parma brought in 19 players. That sort of just stuff. The Dutch as well. Ziyech, Van de Beek, Haller, those are the players. So just stuff like that is very cool to look at. And here's the code of conduct. Now the code of conduct is quite important because it's just basically it's the agreement that is signed with you and the players determining what happens for various infractions, how fines and stuff like that. And as it says here, you can have the code of conduct and as strict as in or you want, or you can do what I'm probably going to do and leave it at this one where it's for the first time you miss training, you miss half a week's worth of wages. Second time is a week, third time 2 weeks, fourth time 2 weeks, that sort of stuff. Gone AWOL, multiple booking, like these sort of things. Just kind of put on that stuff. So I'm gonna confirm it is fine. And then there will be a team meeting coming up. So for the team meeting is just kind of interesting. You gotta talk to your players. For example, this player here, Almeida, who's a player we just offered out to some clubs. He's wanted, but he's currently wanted. So interest is coming. No club is officially gonna offer him an actual offer yet, just as yet, which is fine. We can persuade him to find a new club. However, we'll just do it so we can show you, guys what the screen looks like. This is the player. Now, other players will have their agents here. And this is what it says, talking to clubs about interest, and then see he's upset about this. And the way you can do this, you can either back down, which is where you basically say, "Oh, I'm not offering for clubs." Same thing here, or you can try and convince him. Not right, I'm in a squad. You don't have long left in your contract. Present new challenge. Can't afford it. Like this sort of stuff, and obviously, then or you can threaten him to not write a term in the squad, which is not real. I don't use the threaten too often out of rules, because I don't think it's necessary. So I'm gonna say, well, this part is true, but also this part is true. I should tell him this one. And then he still doesn't want to offer himself out. So say, I don't beg you, but employ the 6 cents. And he doesn't want to do it. So still, let's see what happens. Okay, so he still doesn't want to do it, so he's kind of upset, but okay, fine. I'm not particularly bothered in the first place. He's a partner who's doing this. I can't transfer this in for some reason. But why can't I like an offer him up to clubs? We'll see. Even 4,000 offer him up for clubs with, you can have this nothing clauses and additional fees. Additional fees are like installments, league appearance fees, minimum legals. When those parameters are met, the club gets an additional source of money. Or you can have things like percentage of the next sale. So if we do this, 10%, 5%, whatever it is, and the club that signs him, he turns out to be decent, and he goes and signs with another club, 10% of the profit from that transfer goes to us, because we helped develop him, that sort of stuff like that. Now let's go to the team report introduction. This isn't necessary, but we'll just do it again to point this at show. Come, let's go. Yes, the squad performance, the best 11, the depth to see what's going on here, an analysis report, and yeah, so you can see how old the players are, how tall they are, how heavy they are, how much international caps, the youth international caps, how much they make a week, how expensive they are. We have one of the most valuable things in Portugal. There we go. And then we have a trial offer here. Now this is probably due to the fact someone's probably trying to get him on loan, so he just want to go for a week and see how he feels like. Penafia, by the way, is in a second tier. Portuguese secondly, which is below from us. We're up in here. They're there. And obviously, the championship is the third tier. So the similar to the Inga Championship or La Liga 2. So okay, we'll let you have a 1 week trial. Now, Danny Loader, our 19-year-old Englishman here, was a high potential player, and it's on the loan list and is wanted by teams such as Derby, Luton, Rotherham, and FCPO7, which is in the German second tier. Now, Luton made a loan offer where they pay us £2.8 thousand a month, as well as 60% of his weekly wages, which is £6.5 thousand. Sorry, 6.5. Yeah, £6.5 thousand a week. So 60% of that. Either way, he doesn't want to join them, but like I don't see why not. Might as well accept and let him negotiate with them. So go. Ruben Ferreira, who was transferred to the City clubs and want his services anymore, is won by all these clubs. I don't know why he doesn't have any money attached to him and they want him to go for basically a free. No, that's dumb. The way how I say it, I'm like, why would you do that? So I'm at least trying to get like £1,000, or at least £2,000 for him. Negotiate to £2,000 to be, and I'm gonna go in his offer the clubs, and it'll be at £2,000 a week for the club to offer him. Now, injury history, for example, you see that Macarano over here is currently injured. 33-year-old Spaniard. He's been ill for the next 45 months, so you will not be seeing him for quite a while. So we will have to have someone to replace him. He's currently a central defender. And obviously, at any player here, you can also see that their history. For example, our friend Macarena here first started at Real Santander, then went to Villarreal, then found himself in Russia, and then he came back over here. Spent a single season at Rome, and then we signed him back. He's now injured. Okay. And the player development summary will tell you the support for the players have with the manager, and also certain prospects are high potential players, and the potential they have to be better than certain starters. Like for example, Evan Nelson here have potential to be better than him. So yeah, this is just it, and next episode we're gonna go through other things. So that's it, guys. Goodbye.